Have you ever had a girlfriend and then thought she died, so you go to a random country and then take off your shirt to show off your fake abs that you clearly drew with a crayon, just so that vampire Vecna and that random bartender from Passengers can rip off your head so you don't have to live in this cruel world all by yourself? Of course you haven't. You don't even have a girlfriend, you sorry bastard. When the first Twilight movie came out, people were raving about the cinematic experience of bringing Bella and Edward to the big screen to show off their totally non-toxic relationship that is absolutely in line with the age of consent. And they thought, how can we make this even more non-toxic? Well, the answer was clear. Let's have the one of the two love interests who actually has abs show off his abs. In reality, they must have looked at their own pros and cons list, much like the one I made for the first movie, and thought, Jacob was too green of a flag in comparison to Edward. Let's find a way to narrow that gap. The second Twilight movie is called New Moon, and all I have to say is what happened to the old moon, and where did this new one come from? Also, why are the opening credits a full century long? Why is this so long? Like, just start the movie. Anyway, it starts off with Bellatrix running through an open field in a dream sequence. Nice to know that Edric Diggory can still stalk her in her own dream. Anyway, in this dream, she sees her old self, as in she's old. But Edward hasn't aged a day, if the age of consent wasn't already weird enough. Then she wakes up to Charlie wishing her a happy birthday, W. Charlie. But did you guys see the Romeo and Juliet reference there? I wonder if that will have anything to do with the story in this movie. But Charlie gives her a camera, which just reminds me that there was a time when iPhones weren't a thing, and it makes me sad. Then Bella heads to school where a certain character makes his return.
Today's the big day, Bella. R&J essay, due?
Oh, yeah.
Wherefore art thou, Bella?
I seriously didn't remember him being in these other movies, and now I'm depressed.
Oh, good. Cullen's here.
Come on, man.
Oh, your birth is definitely something to celebrate.
My Asian's not.
I think 18 is a little young to start worrying about that.
It's 1 year older than you.
No, it isn't. I'm 109.
Maybe I shouldn't be dating such an old man.
Yeah, maybe not Bella. These guys must have watched Transformers 4 and watched the weird Romeo and Juliet lost scene and thought it was a good idea. Then Shark Boy shows up and Edward stands awkwardly in the background.
Hello, biceps.
No, it wouldn't seem so drastic if we hung out more.
You should switch schools and come hang out with the pale faces.
I'm all right. I prefer the red school's exclusivity.
Jacob is low-key racist. Also, Batman continues to be toxic.
So how come Jacob Black gets to give you a gift and I don't?
Because I have nothing to give back to you.
Oh, you give me everything just by breeding.
If that's not a red flag, I don't know what is. Anyway, then Alice does some sweet parkour and invites Bella over to their house to celebrate her birthday. Jasper looks like he's photoshopped in, and Mickey17 says this.
Can't trust vampires. Trust me.
I get it, you silly dog. You got some old man humor, oh. Then Walmart Conrad goes full sad boy and talks about offing himself, wishing that he would have found a way if Belly died in the first movie. Did I mention he's toxic?
What was the plan?
Go to Italy and provoke the Volturi.
What?
Oh yeah, did I forget to mention there's an evil league that controls all vampires and will kill me or you if I break any of their rules? My bad, it was probably something important I should have said earlier. Also, Romeo and Juliet reference again. Then she has the party at the Cullens.
The only thing that can hurt me is you.
You know, maybe we should talk about the toxicity of you guys. Wait, no, I think I might have mentioned it before.
You're my only reason to stay alive.
God damn it, bro, stop. Then, in the most bizarre way I've ever seen someone open an envelope, Bella somehow gets the largest paper cut I've ever seen, leading to Jasper wanting her blood. So Edward, with his incredibly high IQ play, decides to chuck Bella toward the wall with all the glass faces. What did you think was gonna happen? Also, who is going crazy on whatever instrument this is? It's so random, but I kinda love it. What I don't love is during the fight, they broke the piano. Aw man, now Edward can't play music at Bella. Funny enough, the next song they play uses a piano. Also, W. Carlisle. Just had to say it. Then Edward talks about how the last movie ended with her wanting to become a vampire and him saying, no, your body, my choice.
And the only solution is to change me.
That's not a solution.
You're not gonna want me when I look like a grandmother.
I do like how this story so far is all about Edward not wanting to condemn Bella to hell and have her wander the earth for eternity without a soul, while Bella's just scared of menopause.
I love you.
I love you.
Well, that was the most painful I love you I've ever heard. Were you guys constipated or something? There's pills for that, you know? Also, looking at this picture, I don't know a lot about vampire lore because I'm stupid, but isn't it common that vampires don't show up in pictures? Or like in mirrors? Is that a thing? Let me know down below. The next day, Edward leads Bella into the woods for no other reason than to break up with her. Could you not have done it at her house? I mean, you guys were right there.
We have to leave forks.
Why?
Because we have too many and not enough spoons. They won't all fit in the drawer. I think I've gotten less funny since starting YouTube. Please subscribe to help pay for my therapy.
I'm coming.
Gross.
I don't want you to come.
Ew. I do find it funny that Edward says multiple times that he can't live without her, only to tell her that he's going to live somewhere else without her. I also love how he said don't do anything reckless,
Don't do anything reckless.
only for her to trip immediately and get lost in the woods. Luckily, she's saved by a shirtless Sam. Yeah, that doesn't seem suspicious at all. Yeah, man, I just randomly found her passed out in the woods and must have also lost my shirt on the way. But it's not a crime to not have a shirt on. In fact, it's more of a crime to not show off this 8-pack I have. This took a lot of work. Then we get the sad girl Bella scene that changed an entire generation of middle and high school girls. She's just like me for real. W depression and disassociation from reality.
The pain is my only reminder that he was real.
Must I even say it? Then Charlie tries to talk some sense into her.
That's it. You're going to Jacksonville.
I'm not leaving Forks.
Bells, he's not coming back. It's just not normal, this behavior.
Charlie is absolutely right here. This is not normal. This is a level of toxic codependency. She should go back to Jacksonville and turn over a new leaf. Or in this case, a new moon. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with me either. But Bella says no and hangs out with Jessica at the movies.
Like, your depression thing, I get it. I'm totally worried. But after a while, it's like you're still behind, and I'm going through stuff too.
Jessica is a perfect example of a Twitter or Reddit user. Also, Edward shows up as a floating head, and I now know where Thor Love and Thunder got that idea. Anyway, he's like, hey, don't do anything reckless, and Bella decides to pull a Mary Jane from that one meme.
Will you marry me? Mary Jane! Why did you do that?
To prove to myself that you'll always be there for me when it really counts.
Yeah, she goes on this motorcycle ride with this random creep for no real reason other than to get Edward's attention. Solid plan. Definitely not toxic. Then she goes and hangs out with Jacob, who continues to be a green flag. I'm sure he'll be a green flag the entire series. But she has him help her with these motorcycles so that she can do more reckless things and get Edward's attention. Now, while one of my goals of this series is to give my own personal opinion on who Bella should end up with, need I remind you that in actuality, no one should be with Bella because she is the worst of them all. Basically using Jacob to get to Edward. And that is only the tip of the iceberg for her red flag-gidness. Anyway, this happens.
Jake, you're like buff. How did that happen? You're like 16. I don't get it.
Age is just a number, baby. What are you, like 40 now?
First of all, that idealism only applies after you're of age. Second of all, gross. I do like how Bella has been having the most intense dreams I probably ever witnessed on screen, but the only dream we've actually seen from her is just her worrying about getting old. So she's just constantly waking up screaming in a cold sweat from the idea of her hair turning gray. And that's it. Anyway, then we see Sam and some of the other guys cliff diving where Jacob talks about how they've been going through some changes. And I love this scene because you can definitely say that these movies were for the most part well shot, but then we get some outlier shots like this one. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's just so bizarre. Then Bella goes for a test drive on her motorcycle in which she apparently has never heard of a helmet and immediately crashes into a rock. The other day, I was out on a walk and this mother was teaching her young son how to ride a bike. And he was a good bit ahead of her, and as I walked by, I warned her that there was a 4 to 5 foot drop at the end of the path. And she said, thanks, I think we'll be fine though. Then about 2 minutes later, I walked by that drop to see the kid sitting at the bottom of it with a scar on his elbow, crying as his bike is turned on its side. The woman looked at me and went, thanks for trying to warn me. I seriously feel like I walked by a crime scene that I knew was gonna happen. Like I tried to prevent it and was unsuccessful. Anyway, Bella did what I imagined the kid did.
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Well, you're apologizing for bleeding. Well, it's just blood, Bella. No big deal.
Okay, dude. All right. Also, wow, this guy doesn't seem to care about my blood. He's so dreamy. Yeah, that's a normal fucking human, Bella. It's the bare minimum. Anyway, then we unfortunately get more of this guy.
So listen, now that you're talking and eating again, which, gotta get that protein in there. I was just wondering if you wanted to go see a movie with me.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
We should get a bunch of people to go. Do you guys want to go see face punch.
Dude, seriously, burn in a fire. How are you not catching on to the fact that Bella does not fuck with you? I mean, she literally turned your date into a group date, which by the way, is a toxic point for Bella. If you've never experienced that situation before, you must be attractive. Now, I've personally never experienced this, but that is because I'm scared of women, and I don't ever ask them out.
Jessica bailed, and Angela got the stomach flu, so Eric's taking care of her. It's just us three.
Right?
You know, Edward's mentality of offing himself doesn't sound so bad right now. Also, nice Wilhelm scream movie within a movie.
Let's do this! Okay, I think I'm gonna stop.
What a marshmallow.
Marshmallow, what? What is that even? Oh, because he's white. Then Jacob and Bella fight about hand-holding, where Jacob is finally showing his true colors. Red, to be specific. Not that Bella is doing herself any favors. If you don't like him, stop giving him signs and being so goddamn close. Then Jacob goes mean mode.
Feeling sick? Maybe you need to go to the hospital. You want me to put you in the hospital?
Jake, the movie's over. What are you doing?
I don't know what's happening.
Probably puberty, man. The next few days, Jacob's dad says he got mono, which I feel like no one should believe. That's the kissing sickness, and we know Jacob isn't getting any. So how'd he get it? I once got mono, not by kissing or sharing drinks or anything. I just hugged a girl who I found out after the fact had recently had mono. That's my only lead as to how I got it. From a hug. Probably the lamest way to get mono. Is my life sad? Then Jacob finally gets hot, and he's a sad boy in the rain. Yes, we love hot, depressing, emotionally unavailable men. Yes, give me more of this. But he's basically like, yeah, I know the Cullens like to suck. And Bella's like, what? No. And then he calls her out.
You've been lying to everyone. Charlie. But you can't lie to me.
Yeah, Bella, you've been lying to everyone. Charlie. That's it. But you're still lying. Also, during their hand-holding fight earlier, he said he'd never do what Edward did. Well, he does proceed to do exactly what Edward did. So Bella then goes into the woods alone for no other reason than to further the plot, and this is where she runs into Laurent, who's like, hey, Victoria wants to kill you, so I'm gonna do it. And she's like, no, don't. That's kind of the whole scene, more or less. Then a serious black-looking wolf comes out of nowhere and chases him away, along with some other wolves. Then we see the editor really put in the work.
By now, those wolves will be dead. And Laurent would have told her I'm unprotected. Victoria.
Yes, dude. Okay, so let's have Laurent clap and then cut to black for just a few frames. And then let's also put Victoria in there, also with some black frames, just to kind of sell nothing. We're not really gonna get much across, but I promise it won't look that cool either. Then shirtless Jacob does some epic parkour, only for Bella to awkwardly punch / feel up his abs. I don't know, it's kind of weird, but he's all like, I want to tell you the truth, but I can't. I want to, but I shouldn't. God, I just hope you could figure it out on your own. Then she figures it out on her own. He's a dog man, dog, wolf, dude, thing. And to test that theory, she goes and slaps this dude who gets so angry that he exposes a well-guarded, multi-generational kept secret in their community within the span of 30 seconds. Then Jacob also reveals himself as a werewolf to protect Bella, and a battle ensues. Oh man, they knocked over the camera. We have to go set that up again if we do another take.
It's the wolf's out of the bag.
Oh, that is something. That's a knee slapper right there. Because, you know, it's usually cats out of the bag, but because they're wolves. Then she talks to Jacob about it, but it's honestly a hard watch. I mean, Jacob, I just can't focus when you have a shirt on, man. To quote Phoebe Buffay, just take off your shirt and tell us.
Well, can't you find a way to just stop? I mean, it's wrong.
What the fuck kind of question is this? First of all, how is he supposed to do that? Hey doc, so I'm going through some changes with my body. Do you know what I could do about it? Yeah, man, just stop. Oh, that's it. Nice. I'll do just that. What? Also, contextually, Bella, we don't even know that the werewolves have done anything bad. I mean, yes, she thinks that they've killed those hikers, but girl, you did not have a problem when she found out that Edward had killed people. You said, and I quote,
I don't care.
the hypocrisy is hypocritical. But Jacob says they killed Laurent and are now going after Victoria. Meanwhile, Bella becomes even more sad girl.
I'm all right until I'm alone.
So you suck at being independent. Got it. Super green flag, Bella. Then we get honestly the most banger scene with a banger song. Say what you will deal about these movies. They have their moments, few and far between, but they do have them. Bella then pulls a Mary Jane again by cliff diving, but I do think she forgot about the second word of that activity. Like, at least try to actually dive.
Mary Jane!
But she gets hurt yet again. What is this scene, bro? This is like Goblet of Fire meets that one scene from Two Towers, except it's supposed to be romantic. But Jacob does save her. Here's the thing though. Jacob saves her in his human form, but right after chasing Victoria as the wolf. So where did he get the shorts? Did he go all the way back home and grab them before saving her? Do they just have shorts stored away in the woods just in case? Explain that. Then Jacob tells her about how as werewolves they can get angry easily, which is why he's been so hot-headed. Nice to know her two love interests are either anger issues or suicidal. Nice. Then Alice shows up since she saw how many dangerous things Bella has been doing in her visions.
I have never met anyone more prone to life-threatening idiocy.
Clearly, you have never watched 911 on ABC. Then Jacob ruins the moment with his sad boy talk.
Don't get me upset.
Hey, stop.
Yeah, you wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Then we get to the climax of the movie, where Edward calls in to check on Bella. First of all, unintentionally cock-blocking Jacob. Only for Jacob to do this.
He's not here right now. He's arranging a funeral.
And here comes the miscommunication, baby. Edward thinks that Bella is dead, and after the few not so subtle parallels to Romeo and Juliet, decides it's finally time for him to off himself for good. To think a simple call to Alice would have solved so many problems. Could have just called her and been like, yo, is this true? Is she dead? Would have solved a lot. Funny enough though, even after Jacob did the scummy thing, he does another scummy thing by trying to get Bella to stop Edward from offing himself. He's literally like, no, don't stop him, let him die. Stay here so that I can take my shirt off and we can kiss maybe? God, I hope we do. God, it just makes me so angry. But Alice and Bella end up going to Romania, wherever the fuck, I don't know, to try to stop Edward. I was going to critique how they were able to get there in time since Edward is known as the fast one of the group, but then it made sense because he was clearly walking in slow motion. Also, Vecna, I see you. You can't hide. But he wants the Volturi to kill him, but they basically hit him with the, no, don't kill yourself, you're so sexy, haha. So instead, he tries to expose himself to the humans, which is against their rules. Time for Edward to show off his fake abs. Also, shout out to Alice for absolutely slaying in her outfit. Like, yes, she had to cover up from the sun, but my girl went crazy at H&M. Wait a minute. Now she is running in slow motion. How is she able to stop Edward in time? Also, why does the scene actually look so beautifully color graded and composited? This isn't the low budget Twilight I was hoping for. What gives? Ah, drawn abs.
Evan.
You have to move. I needed to make you see me once.
I just couldn't live in a world where you don't exist.
You know, this may be a hot take, but I find that to be toxic. Also,
You said...
I lied. You believe me so easily.
oh, so we're just straight up manipulating her and you're proud of it. Got it. Nice. Then they start making out, where the editor strikes again with some cross dissolves. You know, in modern editing techniques, cross dissolves are commonly used to showcase a passing of time. So goddamn, how long were they kissing there? Anyway, the conflict isn't over as the Volturi now want to speak to Edward and Bella. Also, this ancient looking castle has a modern elevator and some high-tech equipment. What is this, Resident Evil? Anyway, they learn here something very important about Bella.
You can't read Bella's thoughts. I would love to see if you are an exception to my gifts as well. Interesting. I see nothing.
Well, have you considered that maybe her head's just empty? Most of her decisions don't seem to have any thought process behind them. I mean, look at my shirt. Her moods might be attributed with the idea that her brain is non-existent. It would make a lot of sense. Twilight fans though, why is she immune to all powers? Like, can we talk about that? What's the logic there? How does that work? But then the Volturi are like, nah, she knows too much, let's kill her. Edward goes, no, don't. And then they fight, bada bing, bada boom. Honestly, why are the fights actually cool in these movies? Like, you expect them to be bad, and then they're actually kind of decent. I don't get it. But Edward loses. Maybe he should have done more sit-ups. Bella then does some crazy arm movements, and Alice reveals that she knows Bella will eventually become a vampire, so they don't need to kill her. Because of that, we get this gem of a scene. But then they let him go. Not these people though. Bit of a yikes there. Then Bella and Edward have the same conversation they've had in the last two movies.
I honestly don't know how to live without you.
Jesus, how many fucking times does he say this in this goddamn series?
Belle, you are my life now. You're my only reason. enemies to stay alive. I just couldn't live in a world where you don't exist. I honestly don't know how to live without you.
Then the Cullens vote on turning Bella into a vampire. Edward is naturally opposed, and then Jacob tries to aura farm and begs Bella to reconsider. Also, do you have to have your shirt off to talk to them? Also, is he just constantly flexing his back? Like my dude. But Bella hits him with the my body, my choice. She also stands way too close to him, only to say, ew no, I like vampire guy. Edward then says this,
I won't have a choice.
Bella, please come.
ew. Then Jacob wolfs out, ripping his shorts for like the 10th time in this movie, and leaves. Edward then gives Bella an ultimatum, which is that she has to marry him in order to turn into a vampire, and also he wants her to wait a few years.
Just give me 5 years.
That's too long.
And 3.
5, 10, 6, 10, 9, 20.
Yeah, Bella, at least be old enough to drink, please. Let's just wait till you're 21 and I'm 112. Then we can get married. I mean, you know what they say, age is just a number. But Bella gives the most bizarre and slightly delayed sigh ever, and the movie ends. So let's review the whiteboard and see how our boys are doing. Now, luckily for Edward, we didn't have to add that much from the last time, but that's only because he showed so much of his true colors in the first movie. But for now, we'll add emotionally and physically codependent, just gonna underline that twice, depressed, and suicidal. Not that bad overall, but we do still have to factor in all these other traits. For Jacob, unfortunately, we had a lot to add. First off, he's mean. He's also low-key racist. He's a bit pushy. He's a bit controlling, and he's judgmental. But of course, I must also add abs. Abs. In the world where there are werewolves, vampires, and whoever the fuck this guy is, at the end of the day, it comes down to who had fake abs and who had real ones. But I'd say the real winner of Twilight New Moon is not either of these two. It's actually Laurent and this guy who I didn't talk about, but he died in the middle of the movie. They win because unlike the rest of us, they don't have to experience what the next 3 movies have in store.
You imprinted on my daughter?
It wasn't my choice.
She's a baby!
Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Have a kick-ass rest of your day. And remember that despite everything, Bella is the physical embodiment of toxicity. Okay, goodbye.